Welcome back to another edition of the Gabagools podcast, episode 66. My co-host, as always, the Cuzzo, Daniel Christopher Huffman.
Thank you,
Dropping
Mom,
middle
for
names
the.
now.
Yeah, I was gonna say, oh my goodness,
Starts
have, haven't heard the.
spankings.
Hey, I haven't heard the Daniel Christopher since I was just gonna say getting spanked by the parents for goofing off in class back in the day.
Yep.
Whoa, bringing back some bad memories there, Jeffrey. can we
Have to lead it off perfectly,
can,
right?
can we start over?
Welcome back to the podcast. Tell us about the weather, Dan.
You know what? Speaking of the weather, brutal out
It's
there.
hot.
It's not a good one out there. Way too hot. Lucky I'm not working today. 66. Did I hear that correctly? Number 66, huh?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
I'm just gonna.
sir.
It's been a minute that's what the kids are saying nowadays, right? It's been a minute since I said this, but holy cow, holy Toledo, who would have thought, right? Who would have
You
thought
know what? It's all about the
66?
consistency. I've enjoyed our little back and forth, and if you go back and watch some of the earlier ones, for one, my haircut's a lot better. I actually look like I'm presentable on the podcast. Like, I saw a clip from like literally last year. I'm like, oh my god. But yeah, just breaking it down with the podcast, I think it's gotten a lot better, and it's fun. I enjoy myself. Shit. I was gonna say shit talking, but we don't really shit talk too much shit. Just overall break down sports at least once a week.
You know, I think you and I are the same. That's why we do this podcast. But I could sit there and talk sports all day.
Right.
It's who we are. It's in our DNA, right? We're men.
It is.
That's what we do. We watch sports. We drink beer. We eat wings. You know what I mean? I don't
Oh,
know
I would
really.
love a nice wing.
I don't really know what else to do. You know what I mean? That's just who I am.
Primal.
Yeah.
Yeah, my is that it? Beach Boys? Is that just a shirt or is that
So
a?
this, I figured I'd break this one out. This was a softball.
I
Did not play
figured.
softball this year. Took a nice little year off. Actually, I'm not going to lie to you. It was quite nice to get off the feet. But this is a Beach Boys jersey. We're going to turn around here. I don't know how well you can see this here. It says Hoffman
There it
on
is.
it. I think it's
There
number
you
9.
go.
Pretty sweet jersey though, if I do say so myself. I saw it sitting there in the closet, had it hung up, and I said, you know what? We're going to break this one out today. I think I wore a
You
lot of
have
the
to.
same, wore a lot of the same similar shirts. So I said, you know what? Today we're going crazy. We're breaking it out. It's hot as balls outside. We're
Oh yeah.
inside. We got the we got the AC on. We got the fan on. Quick little brewski here, and we're good to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, this beer is a lot better than my last one. The other one last week was an IPA, and knocked me on my ass like halfway through the pod. I started feeling it. I'm like, I got a little buzz going on. But yeah, all right, let's jump into the sports here. We'll kick it off with the MLB. Got lots of milestones on this week, but let's strap it down and start off. How about Nick Kurtz? Going 6 for 6 with 4 home runs in a single game, breaking the record for a rookie MLB player.
You know, um, we don't discuss really. You kind of at the beginning of every podcast or every week. You give me the whole what we're going to talk about, right? You didn't tell me. That's my lead up for this. You didn't tell me you were going to talk about my guy, Nicky Nukes, is I think what
Nicky
they should
Nuke. I
start
like
calling him.
it.
Oh
Yeah.
my good lord. Um, when we had this rookie draft, I'm looking. I'm like, who should I take? I got a top pick in a couple of these drafts, not top, but top 3, 4, 5 or whatever, and there were a couple of really good players to take in this draft. I loved Kurtz's bat. I loved everything that people were saying about him. He hit at every level he was at. His main thing was just being able to stay on the field. And of course, he just tweaked something. So I think he missed. I don't think he played Sunday, but I don't think it's anything too big of a deal. Hopefully, but you're talking about a guy the last month or so who's literally been the best hitter in baseball. I think he's got his slug. This guy. I have to look. I have to look at who the candidates are for AL Rookie of the Year. This guy has to be the Rookie of the Year. I don't. I
I
mean,
think it was your other guy, Jacob Wilson, up until I think the last couple of weeks because he cooled off since the All Star break, and then we had our
yeah.
boy Kurtz just go off, and it's so funny because every time I watch the highlights from the night before, I look and I'm like, oh, Dan has him or somebody has him, and he's just been on a tear.
Yeah, you know what, Jacob Wilson too. I've got him in one of my leagues, and I think I might have him in two leagues. I don't know, but I think he's been playing through an injury too. I think that's why he's dipped a little bit. That guy, he was hitting 350, 360 there for a while. I mean,
Right.
that's pretty tough to do for the whole year. But
Unsustainable. Yeah.
he's a freaking stud. I love how his stance. He's so jittery that they don't teach that, but Jacob Wilson's a
They,
stud, and Kurtz too, man. I mean, Oakland's got a really good thing going there. I shouldn't call them Oakland because they don't play there anymore. The
I
Athletics,
know.
but they've got a really good young core. I know you know that too. If they can get
Oh,
some
yeah.
some arms over there, I mean, that's a scary team.
It could be, and I'm kind of rooting for them, and I kind of want to jump on their bandwagon too, just because they're a fun team. Like they got some
Oh,
fun players, and like you said, everything that you want out of him. But moving into another fun player that we like on this podcast, Paul Skeens. Yesterday, 6 shutout innings, 9 Ks, 6-0 win. Finally got the W over the D-backs. His ERA drops to a nice solid 183, still on the major league leading.
yeah. So I mean, this comes down to he's been one of the top. And there's Lola walking through again. Um,
Hi, Kitty Key.
he's been right in that mix the whole year with like top ERA. He's up there with the innings, the strikeouts. He's got everything except for his win loss record. This kid, I didn't really want to admit it when he first came up.
Yep.
He's the real deal, man. He's unbelievable. You don't want anyone to get hurt, and this is the one guy. If he does not get hurt for a good 10, 15 years, I mean, he's going to be a Hall of Famer before 10 years is up. He's going to be one of those Clayton Kershaw guys where he's going to be a Hall of Famer the first half, and the second half is just supplemental. But
Yeah, absolutely.
Skeens, what Skeens is doing, I mean, especially in this day and age when you got clubs like an entire club like the Dodgers, their starting pitchers are averaging under 5 innings a start, right?
Right.
Skeens is going out there 6, 7, 8 innings and shutting you down, and you're lucky if you get a run off the guy. He's unbelievable.
Yeah, absolutely. And just to bring up his hot July too, his ERA for July alone is .67, 36 strikeouts, which over I think 5 starts, it's solid. It's like averaging like 5 to 6 a game. Don't quote my math group chat here. And then ERA for the year, like I said, is 183. So I mean, he's been insane just on the entire July month of July.
Yeah, I mean he really is the best pitcher in the sport, and it's a shame that he's on one of the worst teams in the league. But sooner or later, I mean, I think you might have asked me this. I know you asked me about Scooble, but I mean, we'll have to see what they do with Skeens coming up because you're going to get the Kings ranting for a guy like that.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be wild. Who for one who pays up for it, or if Pittsburgh pulls like what they normally do, and then they let him go down to like the last year of his contract. But we'll see. I mean, there's enough time. I mean, the kid that they just drafted this year too. I think he's like the #1 prospect already. I can't think of his name. He's a shortstop though. I have him in our league. I just can't think of his name.
Connor Griffin, right?
Connor Griffin. Yep, that's
Yeah,
him.
that kid looks really good. They still haven't called up Bubba Chandler, who's
That's
supposed to
another
be
guy.
a
Yep.
stud. So they've got some guys, and I mean they missed on a few guys though. I mean, Key Brian Hayes can't hit. O'Neill Cruz hasn't been able to fully get it going yet. We saw
Right.
what he can do in the home run derby, but
Got to have more
they
stats than that.
yeah.
Another one from this week. Mike Trout crosses 1,000 career RBIs in their win over the Mariners yesterday. So shout out Mike Trout, still doing his business. Mr. Consistency, future Hall of Famer.
Congrats to Mikey, obviously one of the best to do it that we've seen in our lifetime, and injuries unfortunately have really hurt him the last few. But I mean, still, like you said, over 1,000 RBIs now. I mean, that's quite an accomplishment.
Absolutely. Moving into the next guy, the guy that we bring up a lot in the last couple of weeks, Kyle Schwarber, 1,000th career hit, and it ended up being a home run. I think he had 2 home runs that game too. So, I mean, what else can we say? We've already talked about him pretty ad nauseum over the last couple of podcasts, but he did hit 319, which is putting him for the most homers for any player at the time of their 1,000th career hit. That's a little fun statistic, surpassing Mark McGwire's 311 and Aaron Judge's 308.
You know what? We mentioned this recently too. He's aging like a fine wine. He's going to get a few bucks in the off season. And he's the guy, if he stays healthy and keeps hitting 30, 40, 50 homers a year, he's a serious candidate to get to 500. So we'll see.
I think so. I think he playing DH, he absolutely can, which still makes me laugh because all those National League diehards hated
I
the
wasn't
DH.
sure about it at first, but honestly, it's so much better. It was always nice to see like a difference in the two leagues. That's why I liked it, but I prefer the DH now too.
The difference was cool, obviously, and it does. I will give you. It takes a little bit more strategy into it. Like when it comes to later in the game, do you pull your stud pitcher? Do you do this? Do you pinch hit? Yeah, I get that, and that's part of baseball. But I mean, how many times can I roll my eyes over the top of my head watching, some pitcher go up and like put the poorest swing on the ball, or not even swing at all? I mean, it was just pathetic. And then, like, I deal with a lot of Cubs fans, so then I have to hear about Jake Arrieta hitting home runs, Carlos
Carlos
Zambrano.
Zambrano, hey,
Anyone else am I missing? I mean, Madison Bumgarner was a big home run hitter. I think
he
there was
was
like
great.
another guy I'm missing off the top of my head, but it was just, it's not worth seeing a pitcher hit a home run. I can give two shits. Give me a guy that's going to last until he's 40 and still hit bombs. Another
Yeah,
guy that's just hitting a ton of bombs, the first player to hit 40 home runs on the year, Cal Raleigh.
God, I think he's already at 41 too, if I'm not
Yeah,
mistaken. He's
yeah, literally 41 home runs. But go ahead.
you know what? Judge being injured now with the elbow
I
for a
was
couple of weeks, it
You
makes it
read my mind.
interesting if Cal keeps this up. That's the thing; he's got to keep the pace. And I think since the All-Star break, I think he's slowed down a little bit. He's obviously a catcher behind the plate that wears on you for a full season. He's
Has
got
he
to
has he slowed down? I mean, his what do you call it? His batting average drop isn't like great. I think it's like only like 250.
Well,
But
I don't know how many homers he's got since the break either, because he had almost 40 before the break, right?
he had like 38 or something. So, but no, last couple of games, I feel like he's like really. I've seen a lot of home run hit or highlights
Hey,
from him.
hey, you know what? I want to see the guy keep going. I love him.
Oh
He's a
yeah,
switch hitting catcher. I mean, that's such a cool position to be a switch hitter at, and like, I mean, what he's doing is great. He does need to get the average up though. It can't just be a bunch of homers.
right.
Judge could miss another couple weeks, and he's still hitting like 330 or 350. So
I mean, out of the AL, it's definitely up for grabs given the Mariners' success this year of being 55 and 47, only being 3 games out of the Houston race right now. But they'll probably still make the playoffs, and I hope they do. I mean, I know Bryce Miller's still out there, but that's just naming one pitcher off of that team that's missing. But Seattle is going to add at the deadline. I mean, they already added Josh Naylor. I forgot to mention that off the top too, but
really
that's
nice
another big
addition too. I
addition.
like that.
Yeah. Moving into another addition to obviously Ryan McMahon, the Yankees finally got their third baseman. I mean, he's not a superstar, but he's going to look like a superstar to them, figuring that's been a hole since A-Rod's been there.
Yeah, and he just made a nice couple plays in the field
Yeah,
after they got him. So McMahon's a solid. He's been getting better with Colorado the last few years. He's been hitting a bunch of tanks over there. So good to see him get on a better team. And hopefully, I don't know what Colorado got in return, but I mean, with their 27 and 78 record, I hope that they could find something in that deal or
can't
something. I
get,
mean,
can't get much worse. Can't get
help
much
them
worse.
out.
Yeah. Anything else before I go into local news and we talk some crosstown?
Did you want to? I got one thing for you. I didn't know if I was
Okay.
going to do this at the beginning or the end. I know we mentioned the Hall of Fame
Yeah,
this
I got
past
some stuff
weekend.
on that too. Yeah, we can jump
Okay,
into Hall of Fame.
okay, all right. Well, you know what? I recently found some of my baseball cards here, so I just wanted to break out. We got a couple of the Hall of Famers here. I know this is
Yes.
just a regular card, but we got a little CC here from Cleveland. Stays in Cleveland. Got a nice. I've got a few Ichiro cards. I pulled this one out because this one looked kind of old. Got a
Yeah.
nice little
I
Ichiro
missed those. I
Suzuki.
missed that one too. Billy Wagner. Yep, I remember those.
The tops. Yeah, Billy Wagner on Houston, and this is just one more, just because I found him.
Mickey Mantle.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you like that? I could just because I couldn't see the Mickey Mantle on there right away. I could just tell by his stance because I'm pretty sure I have that same card. Probably Grandpa got him for us, and that's probably how we ended up with the same cards. But
yeah.
um, yeah, looking at that, I could just tell by his batting stance. I'm really upset. That's one player that I'm always enthused by is Mickey Mantle. Just probably because Grandpa was a big Mickey Mantle fan, wasn't he?
Yeah, I think he wasn't he a switch hitter, if I'm not mistaken, and
I think so. So,
He had 556 or 500 something career homers. So
oh yeah,
yeah, I mean
we'll have to do a podcast just dedicated to Mickey Mantle.
that would be interesting. I'd have to do my research there on that one. But
We'll do like a topic on it since we got some time. But yeah, obviously you named them pretty much in order. You got Ichiro, CC Sabathia, Billy Wagner, all first ballot Hall of Famers by the league. Not the and then by the Veterans Committee, we got Dick Allen, former White Sox, and then Dave Parker, RIP, just died recently.
mhm.
Um, he finally got in as well. But yeah, Ichiro missed unanimous by one vote, the 99.7%. First Japanese position player inducted with over 3,000 MLB hits and over 4,000 in Japan. It was an easy choice right there. Billy Wagner on his 10th and final ballot got in, which, closers, it's tough. It's tough to get the closers in. That seems to be, the kind of nail in the coffin, but 82% he got in with. He was a lefty reliever. Oh, first lefty reliever. Interesting. 422 saves. That should be an easy 2.31 ERA over 900 innings. That's just, you know, tipping the iceberg with him. And then obviously, CC Sabathia got in with 86%. And then, like I said, Dick Allen, he was a former White Sox, so I wanted to bring him up. He won the MVP in 1972, homered 37 times, 113 RBIs, led the league in walks and OPS, and helped save the franchise in quotation from relocation.
There you go. Dick Allen's obviously a little before our time, but they showed his
Yeah,
numbers a few times recently. He was a darn good player, and he was one of
he
those guys
was.
that people
Yeah,
would bring up every year right around the Hall of Fame voting time, and they're like, Dick Allen should be in, or Dale
yeah,
Murphy, or Don Mattingly, and a lot of these guys. And then Dave Parker too, right? He's another guy who you look at his
yeah,
numbers and you're like, yeah, I mean that guy was the Cobra, right? I mean
yep.
he was great. They were both great.
Yeah, and it's so funny too because we talk a lot. Everyone talks so much shit about Jerry Reinsdorf, and I do ad nauseum. I hate the guy, but he will get his former, or franchise players. I don't think because he didn't buy the team until like the '80s, but he'll get those old school players into the hall. I mean, he got Harold Baines in. Baines wasn't even on the ballot, and he got in because of the Veterans Committee. That's Reinsdorf, and then obviously Dick Allen. He deserves it. And he's got one of the more iconic Sports Illustrated. Pick or covers too. It's where he's juggling the baseball, smoking a cigarette.
Jerry?
No, 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 Dick Allen.
Oh, Dick Allen. Oh, you know what? Like I said, don't know much about Dickie, but sounds like a good picture.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, should we move into our next segment? Oh yeah, next segment is the crosstown. Obviously, we have to touch on it. It went the Cubs' way, not shockingly, but all I have to say is the kids can play. We're gonna put that on a T-shirt. The kids can play. They showed up this weekend. They showed up on Friday and absolutely put the beat down on the Cubs against Shota. I think that was what it was. If it was against Ben Brown, I don't think it would have been as big of a deal because everyone's like, "Oh, it's Ben Brown," but it was against your ace and just absolutely annihilated him. Killed me in fantasy since I own him in both leagues, but
Yeah.
Colson Montgomery homered for a third straight game at that point. Edgar Kiro went 4 for 4. This is all off the rip just because I remember it
That
lending itself.
Montgomery's a pretty big kid, right?
Yeah, and you know what? I didn't realize he had as much power until like this year when he kept
I didn't
climbing
know
up
either.
climbing up the ladder of until the majors too.
Yeah.
But yeah, he was kind of playing out of position too. I know he got trucked over by Ian Happ yesterday. I mean, he's playing third base. He's a shortstop. I mean, it is what it is. But yeah, I mean, he's a big guy. Nice little home run stroke there. I'm trying to think who else. Your guy Mike Talkman. What did you call him?
Palatine Pounder.
Palatine Pounder. I hope they keep him. I think I said that last week
He's a
too.
good
I hope they
player,
keep him.
man. He's a
He
good
is.
player.
And you know what? That's a veteran that like you come in every day, and he could last with the White Sox. I mean, frankly, if he's not traded, I know Luis Robert will probably, which we'll talk on trade rumors in a little bit for at least our respective teams. I have some notes on that, but you know what? At least we gave you guys a little bit of a series, especially yesterday.
Yeah, I mean, God, that first game, I got home, put the game on, and I'm watching this, and I'm like, wait, What am I in the Twilight Zone? What the fuck is happening
What
here? You know,
what what
and
year is it? What year
Show
is it?
Shota every now and then he does have a couple starts where you're like, okay, like he just doesn't have it. That does happen. But he's been pretty darn consistent the last year and this year, and that one surprised me a little bit, especially when we had Ben Brown go in that third game. Ben Brown, you get the good Ben Brown and the bad Ben Brown. That's what Council
Yeah,
said recently after he was sent down or something. And the thing with Ben Brown, man, I like Ben. He's got some
yeah, I
really
know you
good
do.
stuff. He just
Yeah,
throws shit right over the middle of the fucking plate. And when you do that, Ben, people are going to hit
everybody.
it. Jesus Christ, you and I could go up there and fucking hit it.
I mean, Andrew
But
Benintendi did it too. I mean, he got him in the first, and I'm like, all right, we have a chance here. And then he cooled down the rest of the game. Held him down for I think 6.
Ben looked good, right? He gave up a run, I think, in the first, and then yeah, he shut him down for a few after that. And again, a very good start from him. Kate Horton too, the day before, he looked really
Yeah,
good too, and that's been one of the things. God, I don't know where the Cubs are going at the deadline. I would love to see another arm,
I
but I'll
got
tell you,
I got
man,
some stuff. I got some stuff.
Shota's going to be good. I want to just touch on this really quick. Matthew Boyd, ERA leaders since August 1st of last year. You got Paul Skeens with a 1.89 ERA. That might be what he has right now in the year. Chris Sale with a 2.19. Tarek Skubal 2.21. Jacob DeGrom 2.23. Zach Wheeler and Matthew Boyd are tied with a 2.33. You know what? You could say what you want. Maybe these aren't household names. Matthew Boyd has figured something out that
Yeah,
does happen with players. I know it could be a little risky going into the playoffs without getting a big time starter. I'd love to see if us get another arm with Steele being out, but you got Matthew Boyd who's pitching his best he has in his career. Shota is still a really, really good pitcher. Every now and then, a game is not great. Tyone's, I think, going to come back, so you'd probably have him. We've got some other good arms. If Horton and Brown maybe are in the bullpen, um, they've been great. Daniel Palencia got his 14th save of the year, and I want to give one guy love on your team. How about Aaron Savali? Fucking Aaron Savali, right? Not a bad pitcher. He was upset
Adrian
with
Hauser too.
yeah, yeah. He was. Savali was upset with Milwaukee that Mizrahi came up and he was going to push him to the pen, and Savali said, "Hell no! Starters get paid more. I want to be a starter." And he was traded over to you guys, and I'll tell you, you guys have been playing a lot better. I think you're 6-4 in your last 10. You guys have you are 38-68, which obviously is probably a little bit better than last year, but you've
Way
called up
better.
some young kids that look like they're going to be halfway decent. And that's what
Yeah.
you needed because it looks like the arms that you have down there are going to be really good. Savali, has he pitched well enough to move him in the next few days and get something for him?
I think so.
You think
It's gonna
so?
be it's gonna be like one of those AA players that's not really a couple quad A player, or maybe like a couple quad A players that might be worth a shot in a couple
Okay.
years. That's what I'm thinking. If we want to talk about we'll talk Sox trade targets real quick too. Obviously, Luis Roberts the big one. He's the top asset with the team. He's dipped. His value's dipped all year, probably since last year. But he's still the most attractive one for, the rebuilding team. The Phillies were linked to him. I know the Mets. I've heard. I don't know if it was Bob Nightingale said that. They want Mark Vientos as a part of a trade, any type of trade revolving around
Mm,
Luis Robert. They want him in return. He's struggling this year too, but that would be a solid piece for us to grab for third base because we need it.
yeah.
Um, would be interesting how that shapes up, given that we'd have to move Montgomery back to short and then Mydrith over to second. Could work, and then you have him at third. So I'm open to it, obviously. So could see what happens there. Adrian Hauser, too. He's been awesome since joining the White Sox. He's only given up 2 home runs in nearly 58 innings. He's got an ERA plus of close to 226. So he's going to be our bigger target. I think we're actually going to get someone good for him. And he
Yeah.
was just literally a pickup to eat innings for the year, and he ends up being a trade target. So good for him. But they do have Grant Taylor too. I would be shocked if they moved him because he's only 23. He came out of LSU as well. I think he was on the same team as Paul Skeens that they won the College World Series. But
Okay.
I know he's going to draw some interest because he's a strong reliever. Could get some stuff worked out. I know he kind of blew the game the other day for us, but Not a big deal. So I would expect like 5 to 8 trades, maybe moving veterans and some relievers for some low end prospects. But Luis Robert will be the interesting one. Do they move him, or do they pick up that 20 million a year option next year and try the same thing again? But he seemed to be the only one that didn't join in on the hit parade on Friday night.
You know what? Yeah, you guys. Again, you shelled a Shota, but
Yep,
you know what? We
I
ended up
got
coming away with the 2 or 3. Thank goodness in
yep
at the
with
cell.
with the
You guys,
Brewers
you
with the
guys
Brewers
just
coming up too.
yeah,
Go ahead.
yeah, yeah. Big series coming up. You guys just changed your name again with the ballpark, right?
Yeah, it's not guaranteed rate
Just
field now.
rape.
I think it's just rate field.
I tell you, man, you guys got to just pick a name and stick to it. I mean, this is
They keep telling. I think Guaranteed Rate changed their name. I think that was what it was. But
Jesus Christ.
a couple things for you too with like the Cubs being tied for first place in the NL Central. Do you think they'll splurge on pitching or offense first for the pennant chase?
I think here it's so tough to say. Here's what I will say. Jed Hoyer is a sneaky motherfucker. All right, that's what I'm gonna say. That might be my third F bomb of the pod too. So I'll tell you
Could
that.
be.
Here's the deal.
We need to get a
Jed,
whiteboard for that.
we do. Jed's got a great poker face. He doesn't like to give away what he's, what moves he's thinking. You would, if you were playing poker, you wouldn't know if this guy's in or out or whatever. So I think when people look at the Cubs, you think, okay, get an arm to help out with Shota and Boyd, and if you could get a big arm, one name that's been thrown around a lot, Dylan Cease. I don't know if you've heard
Yeah,
that name recently.
I did see that. Yeah,
I've heard that San Diego thinks they could flip him and supplement their team to right now. I mean, San Diego's 4 back of the Dodgers. I think they have a wild card spot if I'm not mistaken right now. So they're in the
yeah. I was kind of
playoffs.
surprised. I'm kind of surprised they've been so active in the kind of trade market. Like a lot of the names I've seen, they don't cripple the team. It doesn't send them into a rebuild. But I'm like wondering why you move a piece like Cease when you're in the wild card. But yeah,
You
back
know
to them
what?
being linked to the Cubs is interesting.
It's interesting because Cease hasn't had a great year. I think his ERA was like 4.5, and you just got Darvish back recently. I don't know if he's pitched that well, but he's been obviously a great guy. I don't know why you'd move Cease either, but if they could get somebody to help their team this year, and they think whatever, I'm not opposed to it. I'd love to have a Chicago Cubs Dylan Cease reunion. I think he's been growing that beard or doing something out there. Maybe he comes over here and the colder weather helps the beard. I don't know. I'm not sure. Even though it is 90 degrees out today, but I'd love to see another arm for sure. The bullpen's
Yeah,
been good. I'd like to see a starter and a reliever. I would not hate Eugenio Suarez. I know he's
I
cooled
was. He's on my
just a
list. I
little
had
bit,
to. Yep.
but yeah, one of those
Because
guys.
that was going to be like my next follow up too. Was going to be the Cubs obviously need more than Matthew Boyd to go win a pennant. Because it's just a different ball game too. When you get into the playoffs, we both know pitching is key. Just to shut down those lineups because then it's timely hitting. You guys seem to have enough of that, but you need more than Boyd. But what about targets like even Mackenzie Gore? Not sure if he's even available, but what about a Mackenzie Gore type player? Edward Cabrera, or even Sandy Alcantara. I mean, these are all pretty cheap salary names. And then you go high floor or high ceiling too with a potential another ace in your lineup who just looks like he would be a Cub is Joe Ryan.
I was just gonna say Joe Ryan, and I know his name's been floated a little bit. I mean, I think you'd have to give up a lot with how good he's been.
Yeah,
Could you imagine though? I mean, if we had a
yeah,
Shota, Joe Ryan, and Boyd, and then
yeah.
it'd
Whatever
be
else, who gives a shit after that? Like that's you need 3 game series. That's all you need to do. But yeah,
yeah,
it would be insane. So yeah, those are some of the names for starters. Obviously, relief. I mean, Emmanuel Clase would be a great option too for you guys. I don't know what you would have to pay for him. Obviously, now he's facing the investigation for the gambling on sports or the investigation for it. So obviously, that kind of tarnishes any type of trade value they're going to get for him.
yeah,
But some other cheaper options, the Nationals have Kyle Finnegan still. Yohan Duran from Minnesota is getting a lot. I think you'll have to pay a little bit more for him
yeah, sure.
typically. And then Pete Fairbanks from Tampa Bay. If Tampa Bay, they pretty much came out and said if they keep losing like they are,
That would
that's
be interesting. I like Pete. Another guy too. I don't think he gets moved because he's a guy that'll sometimes go 2 innings on the A's. Mason Miller, that would be another interesting guy because obviously
You have to give
you
up a lot for him.
you would. I think that he might be under control another couple of years. You'd have to check me on that, but they're 46 and 62. I was hoping they would have won a few more games this year, but I mean they're not doing anything. It looks like so you could move a guy like him. It really comes for the Cubs. It comes down to if they want to move a guy like an Owen Casey, however
I'm
you say
hearing
it.
he's available. I think it's going to be
Here's the thing: he should be, and I think this Owen Cassie could end up being pretty good. But our outfield's already really good, unless you want to move Hap and try to get
I,
somebody else.
I'm. I mean, here's the thing though: is Tucker's only on a 1 year deal. Do you move an Owen
You
Cassie?
do have to hope that you re-sign Tucker
Yeah.
if you do move a guy like that. But you know what? If you get the big time arm, I mean, Jedley, I think it's his walk year. He needs to make a big move, and he's going to. I just don't know if it's going to be a bat or an arm. But
Yeah, and then here's the bat that like you said, Eugenio or you. What is his
you,
name? Suarez.
Eugenio
Eugenio.
Suarez.
Yes. I mean, he leads the NL with 78 RBIs now, 31 home runs. He loves beating the Cubs pitching. We've seen it enough times over the years. They could plug him in, for Matt Shaw. I mean, Matt Shaw's been good the last 7 games. I think he's on an 8 game hit streak. Still good, but he's also a budget friendly rental. So I don't think you'd have to give up too much for him. I think
We'll
they're going to
see.
get
I mean,
outbid.
he's having a
Spencer
great
Jones
great
is
year.
available. Yeah, the Yankees also need another. I mean, they're probably out of the race for him, but I mean, Spencer Jones is still available too for the Yankees allegedly, since they refused to call him up. We'll see what ends up happening, but I mean, if the Cubs get Suarez, that would be. I would love to see it for you, just to all the Cubs fans that make you guys happy. Go get Suarez. Then you're serious. You go get him. You go get Joe Ryan. Those are big name players. I don't know if you have enough in the farm for those guys.
I don't know if
Maybe a
we can
Calvin
get both of them.
Alcantara. But you need, I mean, if you want to
We've got
honestly,
enough. We've got at least five, six, seven
I think
people
you have
in
to
the
move
top 100.
Shaw. I think you move Shaw. I think you have to move probably a Horton or Ben Brown, and then something along the lines of Alcantara as well. But I
James
mean,
Frantos, maybe. I mean,
yeah, those are all
there's also
options.
another arm too who's just jumped in the top 100. Jackson, what's his last name? Higgins or Jackson something. He's in the
Yeah,
top 100 too. He looks like he might actually be really good. So we've trust me, we've got prospects to move. Um, it all comes down to what the price is going to be and if Jed wants to pay that. But Jed's going
yep,
to make a move, so we'll see who it is.
yep, absolutely. We'll have to keep you guys tuned in. Anything else for baseball before we move into fantasy talk?
Aaron Judge with the elbow. Aaron, we got to
Yeah,
figure this out, buddy. I'm trying to win in my other league here. I need you, buddy. You've been slowing down a little bit. The elbow thing in the other day did not. That was not great. All I need you to do is come back, keep hitting your homers, keep getting on base, doing your thing. And my team is, and then Trevor Feldman in our league. Pick up the phone, my friend. All right, time to make a deal. All right, pick up the phone.
it's so funny because if anyone from our league asked you that, or they would say the same thing about you. They're like, "Oh, is he coming back? Is he not coming back?"
That beer
Obviously,
league team, man.
you
Oh God.
you won last week too. You narrowed out
Yeah,
that
I
really
beat the King
close
of the
win.
North. You know what I did to Jon Snow? One of those
Yeah,
right there, King of the North. But dude, that league is kicking my ass, man. And at some point or another, I mean, it's what am I like 5-11 in that league? I mean,
yeah. I
it's
mean, because
brutal.
playoffs are by well, the last seed too is by points, obviously. But yeah, I mean, it's up to you on that one. If you're coming back next year, put people on the block. People would love to trade with you. That's been my biggest thing I've heard too. They're like you and Jeremy. I know Jeremy probably isn't coming back next year. Obviously, he's like 3 and whatever. But yeah, should
Yeah,
be
dude.
interesting.
Yeah, I'm not the worst team in the league, thank God. But I think I'm
No,
like the third worst. So
I
it
know.
has
And
been,
then we play this week, so of course
it's
you're
been a
gonna actually pay attention. So, all
uh,
right, let's move into fantasy football talk. Time to break it down. You know, here's our outlook for fantasy. We do this every year, and obviously the drafts are going to be coming out soon for fantasy. It's still way too early, but let us give us your breakout, sleeper, and bust candidates. You want to go first? You want me to go first? I can lead us off.
you can kick it off. I'm cool with that.
All right, let's kick it off with our third year QB. I think I said he was going to be a sleeper last year with Bryce Young. We got offensive upgrades. We got new off like not new offensive line, but we got some offensive line that's grown in there. Uh, I think he's aligned for a top 8 finish, honestly, and it's not outlandish to say it after you see what some of the competition is for QB. I mean, even Patrick Mahomes is kind of fallen off from fantasy aspects, like not real life, but for fantasy, he's not putting up the numbers he was when he had younger Travis Kelsey and then Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
Um, you know, Typically, the players progress after year 3 too. He was QB 11 over the last 6 weeks of the season last year. He had 21.1 fantasy points per game. That's not including our league where we do points per completion, etc. But weeks 16 through 18, he became the first QB since Drew Brees in 2019 to have 10 total TDs and 0 turnovers, which is like a franchise record, I guess, for them. Their offensive line looks better. I think I said that too. They kind of like revamped it. They were able to run the hell out of the ball. And then obviously Dave Canales, it was his first year as a head coach. He came out of the Buck system. Had a line things. They benched Bryce Young at one point, put him back out there, and he looked like a new man. And then obviously they drafted Ted McMillan, so they got their QB or wide receiver one.
You know what? He was one of the guys I wrote down on my list too, and I've got a share of Bryce Young in that Gridiron League. So I'm hoping
Yes.
I'm hoping for some good things there. I'm gonna stick with a local guy just a few miles from me. One of your buddies from USC. We're gonna go with Caleb Williams. All right, this could be a big year for him, right? I mean, you know, a lot's been said about the Bears not being able to draft quarterbacks, and the head coaches are just miss after miss. We're going to see what we have with Ben Johnson this year. I'm optimistic about seeing what he can do. You've got a lot of really good weapons around you. Now, the offensive line, we might have upgraded that in the draft, if my memory serves me correct. But
It was in free agency though. You added
free agency,
two guard. You added the guy that was with the Chiefs. I think Joe Thuney, and then they grabbed the other guy out of the Rams. Should be solid. I think his name's like last name's Jackson, I believe.
we will see on them. The one thing I will say, I will say shout out to my Faja. He doesn't love some of those moves. His philosophy is the signing of older offensive linemen who have been in the league for a few years and have done it. He doesn't love that, right? So I just want to throw the devil's advocate in there. I think Caleb's primed for a really nice year, but we'll see what happens with the O line, right? That's been the big thing with the Bears for I don't know how many years. He's got a ton of people to throw to. We all know who that is, or who they are, and it's time. It's time for the
It's kind
monsters
of
of
put
the
up or shut
Midwest.
up. Yeah.
It really is. Like, Ben Johnson, we'll see if you can head coach. I don't know if he's going to call the plays. I don't think he is. I would assume you got the
I
OC,
haven't heard that he is yet either. But yeah.
but you know what? Let's see. I mean, if he can be the guy that we need, I think Caleb is a very talented quarterback. This is a big year for him. You've got a lot of weapons, so
Yeah, I mean they revamped their whole interior line. Joe Thuney, like I said earlier, they got him for a bag of balls from the Chiefs. He signed an extension, two balls, 2 year deal, 35 mil. I mean he's a 4-time Super Bowl champ. He knows what he's doing. It's good veteran leadership you need in there. Jonah Jackson is the guy I was thinking of from the Rams. He reunites with Ben Johnson. He was with them in Detroit. He's a physical guy, ready to run block. Should help DeAndre Swift. And then Drew Dahlman, he's a stud for the Falcons. He's been a starter since 2021. He didn't allow much pressure for their QBs since his first year or final year of college. He signed a 3-year deal, 42 million. You needed to sign up a good center. Obviously, the supporting pieces, Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright, they're returning as starters as of now. Who knows what will happen preseason training camp because they did draft Ozzie Trapilo out of Boston College this past season. So we'll see. He's going to be a tackle depth. So it's a good piece that they added. I think it was a second rounder. So we'll see that it's definitely a lot better than it was in past years. So we'll see if there's growth from Jones and Darnell Wright, or they might be replaced in the next coming years.
We certainly shall see. And didn't we drafted another tight end, right? And we drafted that Colston Loveland or whatever.
Yeah, he was the
So
first round pick.
so
So
we'll see. We'll see
special
how he
team.
is. We took him
Yeah,
over Warren, so we'll see how that goes.
yeah, absolutely. One honorable mention I do have to add because I have to keep on going on record, but JJ McCarthy, I think he's going to have a huge year.
I had him too.
Just
Yep.
given, I'm going to keep it real short and sweet with him. Obviously, Justin Jefferson, he's throwing to him, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. I mean, you got Kevin O'Connell. He runs that pro style offense. I mean, you saw what he did with Sam Darnold. I'm not going to go. I'm not going to beat a dead horse. You guys already know I love JJ McCarthy. So
JJ's he would have been my honorable mention. I'm going to give you two here. I'm going to say Michael Penix, or how about your buddy now, Justin Fields?
yeah, I mean, he dislocated his toe. I'm sure you saw that this past week.
Yeah,
I did a little TikTok on it. He's already back at practice. I'm not worried. It wasn't his big toe. As long as it wasn't his big toe, I'm not really too worried. I mean, I've hurt my toe before too, so we're good. But it just goes on record for the Jets to do something stupid, or have something stupid happen to a big name player.
yeah, but this could be a big year for Fields. You know what I mean? He's a solid quarterback. He's the guy that he can obviously run. He's very fast. He's got a big arm. You got to hit your guys, be a little more accurate. But he's got a top receiver in Garrett Wilson, and we'll see what he can do with you guys. I think he's interesting, and Michael Penix too, right? He took over after last season. Now it looks like he's going to be obviously the starter. You got a full
Yeah.
season with a lot of good guys to throw to. You got a nice offense, so we'll see what he can do with a full season if he can stay healthy.
Yep, absolutely. Moving into the sleeper section, a name that a lot of people might have completely written off. How about Trevor Lawrence? We got Liam Cohen's new offense in there. We'll see if this finally all clicks. We got new wide receiver trio. We got Duami Brown. Obviously, Brian Thomas Jr. was there last year, and then obviously you have to talk about Travis Hunter. Brian Thomas Jr. had 87 receptions last year, 1,200 yards, 10 TDs as a rookie. And a lot of that was with Mac Jones. So he can play with just about anybody. And then obviously, Travis Hunter's playing on both sides of the ball, but he's going to give the offense, a little bit of a spark too when he plays offense. So I fully expect the number one pick from, 20 or, a couple of years ago to finally get that breakout. As long as he stays on the field, that's always seems to be the issue with him. But
Got to stay healthy, right? And in a sport where guys are hurt every year before the season, during the season, pretty tough to do that. Sleeper for me was a little trickier. I'm just going to go ahead and I'm just going to go with Bo Nix. All right, he had a solid year last year, but I think as far as when you say breakout, he
yeah,
did a lot with in my opinion, not a lot. And I don't know. I think that
you
he
think
can
he
run a
cracks the
little.
top 10?
He can run a little bit. He can throw a little bit. He's an interesting guy. I think that if Sean Payton, if Bo develops, he's a very smart quarterback. Sometimes the real cerebral ones end up having a long career or figuring something out. So we'll see. I think he could have a really interesting year, though.
Yeah, absolutely. Um, my last sleeper I wanted to add as an honorable mention, just because I had to. Cam Ward.
I had him
He's
on
getting
there too.
a lot of good things I'm hearing out of camp, and you know what? He does no competition whatsoever. Not that he did with
Right.
Will Levis anyway, but Will Levis is done for the year with the shoulder surgery. So obviously the upside's there. I'm going to project him for 3,000 to 4,000 yards, 20 plus touchdowns as a rookie. Just with his surrounding cast, I mean, Calvin Ridley, reliable veteran wide receiver.
Yeah.
I think people write him off too, but he was an elite fantasy asset years ago when he was with Atlanta,
Yep.
and why not do it now? With that, I think it was the old offensive coordinator for Cincinnati, still the head coach there, so why not? Chiga Konkwu, I think we could finally see that breakout for him. Xavier Restrepo, former Miami teammate, he was an undrafted free agent, but could be a nice little thing. And obviously, you have Tony Pollard and what's his name? Who's the backup there? Tajay Spears.
Hey, I'd like to see Cam Ward do well. I'm in a position right now with our Gridiron League. Do I start Cam Ward? Do I start Bryce Young? I think I got to
Yeah,
start Bryce Young, right, to see what I've gotten Cam Ward. But I think Cam Ward can end up being decent too. I mean, we'll see what he's got to work with. You just mentioned everybody. We'll see if anybody, pops. Obviously, having a guy like Calvin Ridley is huge for a young quarterback coming into the league. So um, he's an interesting one too. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see, Cameron.
Yep, absolutely. And then, do you have any more for sleepers, or you want me to go into the bus category?
I just had one. We actually mentioned everybody I had on here. I had one other guy we didn't mention, which was Drake May. I liked what he did
Yeah,
last year. I don't know if I'm going to say he's going to break out and pop, but he did a lot with a little again last year. And you know what? We'll see. We'll see what he does. I like the makeup. I think he could end up being a
so do
decent
I.
quarterback. So if they could find a way to get him some help offensively in the next couple of years, you might have something there.
Yeah, I mean they Pop Douglas is look. They've had a great connection this camp so far. They brought in Stephon Diggs. They have the new coach there in New England. I can't think of his name. It's going to drive me nuts that I can't think of it off the top of my head.
Yeah.
But new coaching scheme, new offense. I think it's going to be a lot better for him. But yeah, moving into the bus category, this is going to be based off of ADP, and just trying to repeat last year's performance might be difficult. And I think his career might go the path of C.J. Stroud. When I say this, I'm going to say Jaden Daniels. I
Oh,
think
don't
he's going to
say
bust this.
that.
And I'm not saying he's going to have a horrible year. He's going to
Say
get
it ain't so.
I'm not saying expecting like massive, but I could see him falling around the same path of like CJ Stroud, because in Dynasty and Superflex leagues last year, CJ Stroud was a number 2 overall pick, like slowly behind Josh Allen. I think right now we're seeing the same thing with Jaden Daniels, where he's actually going 1-1 in a lot of leagues because of the explosive rookie campaign that he had. But I don't know. Something about Washington's offense just kind of feels like they're stuck in neutral. I mean, yeah, they added Debo Samuel, but Terry McLaurin's got a contract dispute where he's sitting in, and honestly, it's like, okay, they got Laramie Tunsil, so they added to the offensive line to help it, but the running backs are kind of meh in my opinion. Yes, it's Eckler and Robinson; they do enough, but their schedule was also a lot easier last year too. So we'll see what the increased. I don't know. Increased schedule. What can we see out of Jaden Daniels? I'm not saying he's going to be horrible, but if I had to
You don't think he's
draft
going to
him,
replicate this year he had last year?
I don't think so. I hate saying it because he's such a good QB.
We'll see. I mean, he
Uh,
had a great year last year, so yeah. I mean, it'll be
that's what
tough
I'm
to do
saying.
that,
To
but
replicate what he did last year and lead them to an NFC Championship game to lose to the Eagles, it's tough, man. It's definitely tough. And then obviously Debo never stays on the field, and who knows what McLaurin? If they trade McLaurin because he doesn't want to, there's no sign of him signing. Who's who's their other wide receiver? It's gonna be tough.
that is true, my friend. It is going to be tough. I had a couple guys here as far as the ADP goes. I don't know how high Mahomes is going. I know last year he didn't do that well, but I was also going to say a guy like C.J. Stroud that you just mentioned. I like C.J., but all his receivers are getting hurt or getting traded. I don't know what he's. He still has Nico Collins. I like Nico Collins a lot.
Yeah,
He's got. Trying to think of the other guy he's got over there. He's got a couple pieces,
Jaden.
but you got Tank Dell
Jaden
who's going to miss.
Yeah,
Who's the? Oh yeah, the kid they drafted, Jaden Daniels. Yeah,
Higgins.
Higgins. Yeah. I mean, yeah, they got some pieces. We'll see what they've got in Stroud, and I like Stroud, right? But obviously, this last year the team kind of went down a little bit more, and they started well the first couple games of the season, but I don't know. I could see Stroud kind of being right around the same as this last year with his performance, and then the
That would be.
Texans team, and I could see that being an underwhelming team again.
Yeah, absolutely. I could see it too. All right. Let's move into our real world hazards for our Mount Rushmore of first day mistakes guaranteed to leave you in a crater. You want me to lead it off? I
That
think,
was
did you lead off last week?
that was a good lead in. I like that. Yeah, I'll let you lead it off. That's cool.
All right, so obviously, first one talking politics. I feel like that's just a quick way to sabotage your first date. Nobody likes to tax policies and kill the mood right away.
All right, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say it. Gassy, right? If you're just a, I mean, if you
Of
if
course, you're picking some sort of flatulence.
I mean, if you're farting up a storm on the first date, you think you're getting the second one? I think not, my friend. So take a Beano or a Gas X or something before that first date to help you out or something, or don't eat beans.
Lord, yeah, you gotta be careful what you eat. All right, give me your second one.
Second one, I think this one should be pretty obvious. Forgetting the name, right? If you have to keep, if you have to keep asking, hey, I'm sorry. I know it's like the eighth time I've had to ask you before. What the hell is your name, right?
Yeah, as you're
Not
sitting
a
there,
good look.
as you've slapped down like four drinks too,
Yeah.
you know, forgetting people's names. Yeah, the next one probably showing up drunk or being drunk on the first date probably wouldn't get you very far. That's a big one.
That's a good one.
Um, and then obviously the next one, talking about your ex. Don't want to talk about your ex on the date. If you're saying my ex was crazy within the 10 minutes, the ex probably has a podcast about you and has the receipts. So there you go.
I like that. I like that. That was really good. This is another smelly one. How about BO? Body odor, right?
Yeah, got to smell good.
Do
You look
yourself
good.
a
You feel
favor.
good. Good
Take a
results.
shower, use some soap, put a little deodorant on, maybe a couple spritzes of some Gucci Guilty, right? A nice little, good little cologne. Smell good, right? And this is probably, this could be number one, especially for all the women out there listening. Forget wallet, right? If you go on
Ooh.
a date with a girl and you forget your wallet, boy, I tell you, why don't you just go ahead and pack it up and circle back home because she ain't paying. So let's go ahead and just say, forget wallet number four.
Yep. All right. Lots of this one's gonna be tough because I have lots to choose from. Um, Probably just super negative energy, whether it's towards the wait staff, whether it's to whoever you're on the date with. If everything sucks, your job sucks, your food sucks, your shoes suck, guess what? You probably suck. So, obviously, don't talk negatively on a date and just share off the negative energy. I do have a couple honorable mentions. I don't know if you do.
I got a couple here for you. How
Okay.
about what did I write here? Hang on one second. I can't read my writing. You start with the honorable mentions. Let me figure this out
All
here.
right. Weird flex orders. So, I mean, obviously, if you're flexing on what you're ordering, I'll have the boiled eggs and milk. It's not a vibe.
No, you can't do that. I'll take a milk
You,
steak.
yeah, a milk. uh, Oversharing trauma on date one. Let me preface this by saying, like it's okay to share, but don't trauma dump on people. I mean, then you're just talking to a therapist essentially. But like I said, you could talk to about it to a point, but you don't want to be trauma dumping on people. And then obviously, the last one I have is no questions asked in return. So if you're all talking about yourself, so don't talk about yourself too much on a date.
All right, this one I had was good, but I can't rate it. It's completely illegible. The other one I had here, nerdy, right? You don't want to be breaking out your Lord of the Rings talk, right, on the first date. Let's go ahead and keep that in.
Harry
Uh,
Potter
and
tattoos or something.
and I'm not a Lord of the Rings guy. I'm a Harry Potter guy. But let's maybe keep some of that to ourselves for the first couple of dates, right?
Yeah, exactly.
We're
Well, I'm
trying to
not a
help
Harry.
you out there, right? We're trying to
Yeah,
help all you people. So,
yeah,
you know,
exactly. And that's our Mount Rushmore of first date mistakes. All right. Anything to close out on?
I think we hit everything. Number 66, right? Pretty good.
66. Pick up sticks.
Pretty good.
All right. We'll see you next week.